that Strawberry has been propositioned with today is she is going to do a full face, okay? And we ain't talking about somebody, oh, your mama at first said you can start wearing makeup, or you were sneaking to wear makeup and you didn't want to wear a lot of it because you didn't want to have to take it off before you get home just in case you forget. So, we're not talking about that. We're talking about like, okay, did you do something? So, she is going to show us brows, face. She's going to do lip and lashes, all under. Y'all hear it? Because we gonna time her. We already put the pressure on. I've been pressuring her. Every email is under. So we gonna do that, and she's gonna show you all how to do it. Now, this is not a one-on-one necessarily. She does offer those classes, right?
Yes, I do.
She offers those classes. She's been doing makeup for quite a while. Her story is very interesting.
Now, do you have oily, dry, or normal skin? Would you say? Combo?
Yeah.
Okay. So where are your oily spots?
T-zone.
T-zone. Yeah, a lot of people have like oily in the T-zone. I know a lot of us are like oily in the summer and then in the winter dry is usually how it goes. So I do know that this is the 30 minutes. I'm hoping the time start now, not when I was talking. But I will be moving around only because I do things a certain way for certain reasons. So we will start with like a moisturizer. We'll let that marinate into the skin, primer, foundation, but in the midst of it all, I will be like going back and forth doing our brows, and I'll explain why. Moisturizer wise, I love the Don't Hate Hydrate by Tart moisturizer. I love Tart products. It's suitable for sensitive skin, and dermatologists recommend it, and it definitely works for oily skin, and it works well under makeup. All makeup is not created the same, obviously, and everything does not work well together. So you want to try to stay with like water-based products or silicone-based products and not mix them. Otherwise, that's what can cause it to separate. But yeah, so I will start then by just putting the moisturizer on her face.
Make sure you hit your record.
Okay. Let's see. Yep, it's on. Thank you. Mm-hmm. And so you don't need a lot, just like a dime size. So I start by I go right into the T-zone first. I get it where it's important, and then I smooth it all over. You do want to make sure that you get in a nice smooth canvas to work with. And that's what's gonna make your makeup lay properly. If we try to skip the steps and just, put the foundation on there, it's not gonna last. By the middle of the day, you might feel yourself looking oily or dry or different things. So you really wanna have a nice canvas to start with. I know that, in the morning, the way that I do it, when I'm busy in the morning, I may not have time to put foundation on, wait 5 minutes and do something else. So I will, move around on my face. Otherwise, I'll do other things as well. I like to do the moisturizer first because we do want to let it marinate into the skin. So I like to let it marinate for at least like 3 to 5 minutes. When you pile things back to back, that's when it becomes cakey and it turns into like a muddy mess, if that makes any sense. So you do definitely want to brace yourself. I think that's one of the main things a lot of people may do wrong is they do the moisturizer, then they hurry up and do the primer and then the foundation, and it just won't give you a nice, smooth canvas. So I know it seems like a lot of wiping, but I really want to give her a nice canvas to work with. And then, so now while the moisturizer is settling in, I will work on her brows. And I am using a spoolie just to brush them up. A lot of people like that brushed up look right at the beginning of the brow. And do you like your brows natural or real fleeky or in between?
In between.
Okay. See, if I just brush them up. Let me just look at the timer. And then this is the Anastasia pencil in the color dark brown. And what I'm doing is really super duper light strokes. If you press too heavy, that's what's gonna give you that like Sharpie type of effect. You wanna do really light strokes. And then right at the beginning, you could even brush it up. And all we are doing is following her natural arch. And the Q-tip is your best friend if you do make any mistakes. So sometimes I'll brush it over with the pencil and then I'll come up with the spoolie just to give it that hair effect. So you're just filling it in. And I call these build-a-brow, so you're just building them out. And all pencils are not created equal, so you do definitely want to invest into you a nice eyebrow pencil. Anastasia makes brow pencils, and there's like $20. If you want something more cost-friendly, ColourPop also makes them as well, and it's like $7, and it works just as good.
Where do you get your products?
I go mostly to Ulta, Sephora, Macy's. And then I also use, some of my products as well. And then don't worry, like right at the beginning, if you don't like the brow, because we're gonna add like powders and pomades to build it out and give it a nice look. And then only thing about pencil is like it don't really last as long. If you just put the pencil down, your brow can smudge, exactly like if you go to hug somebody or something. And we don't want our brow on somebody's shirt. So this is my cake paste. It is an eyebrow paste. It is waterproof. And it lasts at least 24 hours, but some people keep it on longer than that, to each his own. So I don't necessarily use it throughout the entire brow. I more so just use it for the tips, because you don't want to have too strong of a brow. Like if you put the cake paste right at the beginning and also the end, it's going to give you too harsh of a look. So you only need it more so at the end. I am using an angle brush, and you always want the short side of your brush to face outwards. And I'm just moving it on there, and then you're just gonna fill it in. And that's what gives it that more defined look, plus we'll do the concealer as well. As you can see, once we put the paste on there, it really filled it out even more. And then, like, if you want it to look more natural, you could always just brush it with the spoolie, even still. So I do feel like it has been like at least 3 minutes since I put the moisturizer on. So I will do the primer now. And the primer is super important because it's gonna make sure that your makeup lasts, it's not gonna sweat, it's gonna absorb oil. It helps it to photograph better, fill in fine lines, fill in pores, and just, gives you a nice canvas to work with. So this is the Benefit Mattifying primer that I like to use. It's called Porefessional, and it really just fills in the pores, and it just works nice with makeup. And I'm just gonna do the same thing like I did with the moisturizer. I will come back to the brows, but as you can see, I'm working around. Look all the way up for me. I do like to make sure that I definitely get the primer underneath the eyes. I feel like that's the first part of the face that will break down throughout the day. So like if you don't put primer under there or pat it in super good, you can put makeup on in the morning, and by the middle of the day, you back looking tired, wondering where the makeup went. So definitely want to put a primer on. Okay, if you want to close your eyes, you can. primer on, I will use some concealer, and I like to use the Tart Concealer. And I also like Too Faced as well. I go with like a brighter concealer and also one closer to the skin color. And I go with the brighter underneath here to really define the brow. So yep, Tarte. Now it's two different Tartes. It's the Tarte Tape Shape, and then they also have another one. Creaseless, that's right. So it's a Tarte Shape Tape and Creaseless. I personally don't use the Creaseless. I don't really buy them. Sephora carries the Creaseless ones. They say it's creaseless, but to me it's still creaseless. But the Tape Shape will definitely hold up all throughout the day. So I'm just going to use an angle brush. This is a MAC angle brush. I have the short side of my brush facing outwards. I'm using a super bright concealer. It's way lighter than her color, but when I blend her color in, it's gonna all make sense. So this color is Golden by Too Faced. I'll turn it back for me just a little. And that's available at Sephora and also at Ulta. So brow-wise, all you doing with the lighter color, you have the short side of your brush facing outwards, and then you just start more so right in the middle, and you slide it down. For some people, you can work like small strokes. For some people, they can just slide it right out. So you see, I just slid it right out. So I know it may look scary because it's like that's nowhere near her color, but trust the process. This is what gives the fleeky brow.
Now, if you're trying to tell some of y'all, trust the process.
Yes, thank you. When you come in with just your color only, that's like the work brow, you know, which is fine, but sometimes we want that extra emphasis. So now with like a color that is more so her skin tone. Now this is the Tarte Shape Tape color 53 Deep. It's slightly lighter than her skin tone, but it's closer than that light color by Too Faced. And you just come at the beginning of the brow and bring it all together. And then you could just come in with like a buffer brush, a small shadow brush even, and you could just buff it right out. And then what I do for the top of the brows, I use foundation, the same color as her skin, or sometimes I might even use a concealer, same color as the skin. Yeah, and you just smooth it down. And I'm actually smoothing it onto the lid because I'm just gonna give her like that eyeshadow look with the concealer. Sometimes we don't have time to, you know, do shadow. We just want to get a nice face on there. But if you blend your concealer down, it will definitely give you that effect. And then what we also will do is like come in with the powder. That's her skin tone to tone everything down. It will all balance out. So yeah, I'm just coming in with a darker concealer now. That's 53H. And I'm using that angle brush again. And using the angle brush, again, you just have the short side of the brush facing outwards. It's all about the way that you hold your brush. That's the one thing they don't really show you on YouTube is how to hold the brush. You'll see them like with all of these products, and you'll go by everything that they, you know, use, and you might not get the results because they're not showing you how to hold the brush. So like, for example, if you're doing your own brow, like when you're doing your concealer, you want to come in with it flat. I don't know if y'all noticed, but when I was doing her brow, I had the brush flat. If you come out with it straight like this versus having it flat, what can happen is concealer that's on a brush can accidentally get into the brow. So that's when you start making those mistakes. So when you come in with it flat, that gives you that nice fluid glide. So I'm just gonna come with it flat at the top now. And all I'm doing is just going over, tracing her natural arch. Now, I do know, like, if you, you know, when you at home, you may not be able to get it perfect that first time. It does take practice. One trick that I can give you, too, as far as, like, how to fix your brow if you accidentally messed it up. Like, if I would have got concealer into this just now, for example, if I would have went back in with a pencil, all it's going to do is look cloudy. You have to come in with, like, a brown eyeshadow or brown powder to fill it in. Because you don't want to put, like, that liquid material, you know, with the pencil. It's just going to mix. So you come in with a powder, and then it's going to give you a grip so that you can easily manipulate the brow. So all I'm doing, I have the brow flat, short side facing outwards. And then one tip too that I can tell anyone, like, you know, who is getting into makeup and want to do their own makeup is just really to have fun with it. Like, don't wait, like if you have to be somewhere at 7, don't wait until 6:30 or 6 o'clock to try. That's everyone, right? Right. It's not gonna look right. And what's gonna happen is you're gonna spend more time trying to fix it. You're gonna keep wiping and you're gonna be late, you're gonna look a mess. So I say to make it a fun thing, like if it's a random Wednesday night, for example, and you're not really, you know, doing much, you know, just put on, you know, your jazz music or whatever you listen to. Have your wine, you know, make it fun. Make it more like a meditation. And then practice makes perfect. Each time you'll get better and better. And all I'm doing with that buffer brush is just tracing over the brow. That's it. Now it does look, you know, a little unblended, so a way that you can fix that is just with like an eyeshadow or even like a foundation powder. So I will use the MAC Dark Deep Color powder. And you will see how once we add the powder, it's gonna just really bring everything together. Because the important thing about the powder is you want your brows to photograph well. If we were to just leave it like this and keep blending, when she take a picture, it's gonna look white. And it's gonna give you like that super bright halo look that you don't want. Okay. Well, brows take the longest. Sometimes, just depending on the look, but yeah. So as you can see, once I added that dark powder, I would just tone everything down. And again, if I would have did it with just her color, it wouldn't stand out as much. And we can go into the brow some more like towards the end. So yes. So now we have our moisturizer on already. We already have our primer on. So now we can go in and do the face, yes. Thank you. And I'll work on them some more, but you know, they pretty much intact. I didn't, I'm not gonna use a lot of brushes because I want to show you how to, you know, quickly be able to do something. Yeah, we may not be able to, in the morning, pull 30 brushes out. You know.
I'm makeup illiterate, so give me 2 brushes.
Yes.
Why you gotta say 2? Why 2? Now, what did she just say in class? Is it called a smear? No, I'm not smear. I ain't got a professional. I'm supposed to be in bed. Thank you, son. That's why I'm in the okay.
And this is the Nars Audi Luminous Weightless Foundation.
Oh, I love that. That's my favorite.
Yes. Yes, yes. Gives you a nice, clean, smooth look. And a little goes a long way. You really only probably need 1 squirt, but I just put a little extra. And you can get this from like Ulta, Walgreens, Target. It's a Real Techniques buffing brush. You can use it.
Maybe win one today.
So I'm just gonna dip this in here, 1 little dip. And a good way to color match is match it right here, right above the ear.
That's amazing.
Thank you. This is where you match it to.
10 minutes and 50 seconds.
Okay. It's just like watching you do like art.
Thank you. It's like painting on the face.
Okay.
And what I like about this brush is you can quickly get it on there.
Killing it. Because you're killing it.
Buff it right on in. Yes.
Wow. She just. She just gave it.
So once you put this on and you pass some clothes up, will that come on?
You know what? That primer that we put down, that's what's gonna help lock it in. But you have to set it with a powder too.
I need a whole list again once you go
Yes.
to the table. You go write that down.
I got you.
Because next week I'm practicing. I'm not working no overtime. I go ahead and practice.
Yes, and just make it fun, you know?
Girl, I'm trying to get pretty. I'm trying to love myself.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Enhance. Use your word.
I'm learning.
Thank
I'm
you.
truthful. I'm learning. I'm learning. That's why this mirror sitting there. I'm learning.
No pressure, but 9 minutes and 40 seconds.
Pressure. Pressure's on. It's a hit.
So this is that Tart Concealer, the color 53H Deep Honey. And this is also a Real Techniques brush. And you can get like the whole kit for like $20.
Okay.
It's gonna give you like 5 brushes. I can send y'all a picture of it if y'all like, but yeah. So I'm just gonna,
I'll be at your table.
yes,
Very
look up for me.
bothered. She was like, yeah,
Look all
that
the way
is
up
what
for
I
me. Just using patty motions.
Holler at me later.
Quick sales post.
Yeah, I'm just using tapping motions. You don't want to put the foundation underneath the eyes and then concealer. That's going to be too much product, especially if you have like fine lines and wrinkles as we get older. The less product under there, the better.
Amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
For real. How many more minutes we got, son?
Thank you.
Son, how many more minutes we got? Cause she is killing it.
You look so beautiful. I mean, you know, she got like you were beautiful before, but you look good, girl. Girl, I'm trying to tell you.
I'm taking this video on this over so I can go home and practice.
And this is the Laura Mercier setting powder. Laura Mercier. And Laura Mercier, they have banana powder now. I was excited when I saw that. At first, they only had like the whiter color. They have the true banana powder. Okay. And then you have to set the concealer. You have to set the concealer. And then I'm also going to put some powder on her T-zone as well. And I'm going to go over the brows a little bit to lock them in. And so like if you press for time, you know, I would at least put like a little glow to the face at least. Yes. Glow it up.
Give me some gold, some rose gold, some of that.
Yes. And you can stay smiling like you are. So if you smile, you just use that same brush. And we're going to tap it right on the cheeks. And just give it a pop, you know. Bring it to life. Thank you. Thank you.
She still looks like herself.
And you have to come in with that darker powder, that dark deep. So I actually have some down here already that I'll just grab because you have to set it over it, especially if it's really hot outside. Yes. This is what I use when I do weddings. I bring a couple of these and I can do a whole,
That's all you need is them brushes right there.
And we literally only use like 3 brushes on her face and then the brows, well 5 brushes all together with the brows.
That's all I need.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We use the angle brush and a little buffer brush. How many? Oh, that's good. Okay.
Yeah, she is.
She ain't sweating.
Plus we gotta do the.
Put you on the set. Get you a
And these are my lashes. You want natural lashes or you want them more poppy?
Okay.
You want a little bit longer?
Lashes too?
A little
No,
longer?
that's
Perfect.
perfect.
I figured she would want like a smaller lash. So this is like a smaller one. These are called plums. I have different sizes.
Because I want some, but I'm scared of my glasses.
These will be perfect then for your glasses. They real small.
The lashes are glass safe.
Yes. Not all of them, but the small ones.
Not the one Deanna got on. The one she got on.
So then I do use eyelash glue. I know some people use the hair glue, they like it, but I would just be careful with that because it's not for the eyes.
Right.
That's just
my
that.
birthday time I did it.
It make you water. Yes.
I used to really shut.
I went to the nail shop and they give with glue. Like that. That's how it's burning. Girl, shut up. That's why I ain't got lashes no more. They ain't supposed to use hair glue.
No pressure, but 4 minutes and 26 seconds.
Okay.
I ain't get lashes no after that. I ain't get lashes no after that. It was all clunky right here, man. I was like, wait a minute.
Yep, that's the hair glue. It will
Why
pull
is
your
it
lash
sticky
out.
like that? I ain't get no more after that. Did you tell me that? No. I was still standing on the west side. That's what we just went on Madison and Goliath.
But the lash really completes the look. Thank you. And it is white glue, but it will dry to a clear color in a few minutes. How many more minutes?
Oh, she checked it in. 3 minutes and 36, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2. 3 minutes and 33 seconds.
Okay.
All she did was put
Now
some
look,
lips
y'all.
on. That's it.
She beat this buzzer. Y'all better go crazy.
We going ham. We ham. You better put it, walk it out. Walk it out.
I got my speaker. We will put that.
Yeah, and the lash, you just put it right into the
Yeah,
lash.
you gotta come to my event because it's right down. Right down.
No pressure, but 2 minutes and 46 seconds.
And we do need a little liner. Look all the way up. I mean, I've already sharpened it. And you put it right into the water. The liner is gonna give it that pop.
Yes, girl. She is pop.
Okay. I am gonna spray her so that it can settle in.
Spray. That's spray. That's that mist. Now what this mist called?
This is the Tart. Okay, Tart Stay Spray.
Okay.
It is like a shower.
Holy water. Did you just spray it on the eyebrows? Because that's all I'm gonna do. Can I keep it like that?
And since we only have a minute left, we'll give her some gloss. Normally I would put a disposable lip applicator, but I'll give her this for being my model. So this is my strawberry gloss. It's infused with vitamin E and coconut oil.
Coconut oil.
She got a whole mommy takeover.
I know that's right.
No pressure, but 1 minute 15 seconds.
She done. All she have to do is pop them lips and it's over. Pop them lips.
Thank you. It smells so good. It smells so good.
I see look,
She done. All she have to do is pop them lips and it's over.